in terrible shape. So I think about the ways that I can make him better based upon what you hear about what causes good health and bad health. So the first thing I do is I put a collar on Einstein and take him for a walk. And I bring him back, and I look at him, and I go, well, that didn't help. So then I take and reach down and pet Einstein, scratch his ears, and give him some psychological comfort. Now, how do you make Einstein well? You put him back on the meat. He's a carnivore. So you got all these friends of yours that are sick and fat. The problem's the food. It's not because they don't get enough exercise, which has some advantages, but it's risky at times too. It's not because they don't have adequate psychological comfort. It's the food. That's why they're sick. And how do you get them well? You change their diet. Here's the results. It's the largest study ever done that we're in the process of publishing. Nothing else is ever close in data. What I did is I took the results of 10 years of my people at the resort we work at now. I'd done the same thing on 2,000 people at St. Helena Hospital when I was there for 16 years, and I published those results on 500 of them in a medical journal. But we're redoing it now, and we're checking these 1,700 people that came through our program over 10 years. No one was excluded from the data. Everybody is included in this data of 1,700 people. Force feeding these people. They have 15, 20-course buffets 3 times a day. They can take food back to their room. They can eat as much as they want. And the average weight loss in women is 3.1 pounds in 7 days. That's about a half a pound a day. The bigger you are, the faster you lose. Minutes, 3.6 pounds. 1,700 people. Our drops in cholesterol, the average is 22.3 points of cholesterol. This program that ended this morning, the average drop was 25 points of cholesterol. In 7 days, we did nothing else but change their food. High cholesterols, you have bigger drops. You can drop 100 points in 7 days sometimes. The higher your cholesterol is when you start, the greater drop you'll get. This is our blood pressure drops. These are the people who should be treated with blood pressure medication, 160 over 100. The average drop in blood pressure in 7 days is 24 over 14 millimeters of mercury, and almost all of them stop their medication. I've done long-term studies, like I took care of the people at Blue Cross Blue Shield for 3 years in Minnesota, and we were able to follow them up for a year, and what we found was that they got an average of 36-pound weight loss for those who complied to the diet who were overweight in a year. We just finished a study at Oregon Health and Science University up in Portland. I started a study in 2009 with the neurology department at Oregon Health and Science University, the medical school in Portland. And we just finished it this March. And we're going to release the data on diet and MS soon. Not yet. But we do have some of the secondary endpoints, and it's just shocked the folks at Oregon Health and Science University what they saw. And that is, we took one group, which was the intervention group, which came to our clinic and learned the diet, and another group, which is the control group, who were asked to eat the regular diet for a year. And we looked at what happened. And what happened was the fat intake on average dropped from 40% to 15%, and it stayed that way for a year. Nobody's ever seen that kind of compliance. Over 80% of people complied fully after a proper education. So don't tell me that people won't do it if given the right information. They will. We know it. We have proof that they will do it. Let's take a look at some of the patients I've taken care of. This guy right here, or have known through email. This guy right here was the CFO of the state of Wisconsin, sick with the usual problems on blood pressure pills, antidepressants, decided to change his diet. This is what happened to him. 40-pound weight loss, 7 months. This lady had horrible rheumatoid arthritis. Anyway, she got cured. This guy, patient of mine, some of you are from Hawaii. I know that Elaine and Jerry probably remember this guy. This was over 30 years ago. This guy changed his diet. He was on 25 drugs. He was 450 pounds, changed his diet. And that's what happened. And that was 35 years ago. This guy's one of our newer patients. There's his picture. Here he is. Before he changed his diet, he's on diabetic medication. He's 276 pounds in May of 2011. Here's what happened to his blood sugar as soon as he changed his diet. Bloop, like this, all falls medication. Here he is 90 days later, down 30 pounds, and here he is this January. How often does this happen? How often does this happen? This is as close as a half a bottle of whiskey and a hangover. That's what it is. This lady, I'm just going to show you a lot of people that are in the Starch Solution book that have made these dramatic changes and have maintained them for years. Why do they maintain them for years? Because they're not doing anything. They're not being hungry, which is painful. They're not making themselves sick with the Paleo and Atkins diets. They're just eating human beings' natural diet. Human beings are starch eaters. That's all they did. They didn't think good thoughts. They didn't go to church an extra time on Sunday. They didn't carry around good luck charms. They didn't, put cayenne pepper on their food, or, all they did was change the food. You could do that. This guy right here is from Hawaii. You folks know him. Sure you do. And this is what he looks like. Lost 150 pounds. This lady 20 years ago lost 110 pounds. This lady 4 years ago lost 149 pounds. Took her 2 years. But this lady wanted to go to Costa Rica with us. Wouldn't and couldn't because she was 77 pounds overweight. So we do a trip twice a year to Costa Rica, and she finally went. She was able to go on the zip lines. And she still looks like that today. This lady 10 years ago changed her diet. This is what happened to her. And she'll never be overweight. It's happened to many of you. You know what I'm talking about. This is one of the newest Star McDougalers. Dramatic drop in weight. Just by, all she did is change the food. That's all you got to do is change the food. This is the newest Star McDougal. This is a lady who got breast cancer all over her body. She came to see us, and I don't know whether the cancer's cured, but she sure looks a lot better. She just changed the food. She thinks it's cured. Her doctors think it's cured, but I don't know. Just change your food. That's all you do. How often does this happen? It always happens. All you got to do is change the food. Just get the oil out of the diet. The nuts and seeds you go to, folks. And eat starch with a few vegetables and fruits. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. So it's up to you. This is your choice. You can continue to suffer from being overweight and